We made it to the 5th board in our X370 look. Been a long road, I know. Kind of tiresome, I know that too. But we're here. Thanks for sticking with me, because Carbon Talks is here to help. Okay, just like our other boards, this is not a performance review. It's just a look at what the board has to offer. So, since it's taken this long to get there, let's go ahead and get to it. Finally, we get to the Gigabyte GA-AX370 Gaming K7. This board retails for about $210 US. One word comes to mind when I look at this board: LEDs. Okay, 4 letters. There are controllable LEDs all over this board, on and under the I/O shield, in the audio chipset shield, along the PCIe 16 slots, between the DIMM slots, and the accent overlay on the right side of the board. Another standout feature: the shielding. All the PCIe 16 slots are shielded, along with all 4 DIMM slots and the U2. The board is a nice black PCB, and with all those LEDs, lends itself nicely to any color customization you want. Power to the board is 24 pin for the motherboard and 8 pin connectors to the CPU. Again, shielded dual channel memory supporting DDR4 with a max of 64 GB at a max frequency of 3200 MHz. Per Gigabyte's own qualified vendors list as of April the 10th, 2017, there is some memory up to 4266 that is approved. However, that memory will be capped at 3200. This board stands out in the cooling area also. It has 6 smart fan 4-pin headers located around the board, and 2 fan pump combo headers. Not only do these headers determine if a fan or pump is connected, but also if it is PWM or DC controlled. On top of that, each header can be assigned to any one of 9 temperature sensors, 7 onboard sensors, and 2 external sensor headers located here and here. All of this can be controlled via Gigabyte's System Viewer software or the BIOS. Now, on to internal onboard components. I'm going to start in the upper right corner. We have a power button, overclock button. I would overclock via the BIOS, but the button makes it nice for a quick OC. The clear CMOS button, and a reset button. 2 US 3.1 Gen 1 headers are here, and the shielded U2 connector right below the accent panel. A warning: if the U2 connector is used, then the M2 slot is disabled, and vice versa. Here's a time to pick the lesser of the two evils. We have 8 SATA 3 connectors located right here, with the availability of 2 SATA Express connectors. Another word of warning: for every SATA Express connectors used, you lose 2 SATA 3 connectors. Along the bottom from left to right, first up is the front panel power reset LED header. Next we have 2 USB 2.0 headers, and here is the RGBW header. Yes, you heard right, RGBW. This header is different from the RGB headers on other boards. It allows you to connect an RGB white or an RGB UV strip. With the white strip, the colors are supposed to be more uniform. With the UV strip, well, you get that nice black light UV glow for reactive tubing and or coolant. Also unique with this header, If you happen to buy a strip that has a different color layout, say BGR or whatever, then using the RGB Fusion software, you can reassign the pins to match your strip, so you're not tied to a certain brand of RGB strips. There's also one more RGB header here. However, it is a standard RGB header and will not accept the white RUV strip. It is, however, controlled through the RGB Fusion software, as is the RGBW pin and all onboard LEDs. Dual BIOS switches here for that unfortunate time when your main BIOS becomes corrupted. Finally, the front audio header using one of the two ALC 1220 codecs. Now on to the PCIe and M2. The PCIe slots are shielded and are quad AMD Crossfire and quad NVIDIA SLI compatible. Again, these two PCI 16s run at X16 and X8 respectively. The last PCI 16 is a 2.0 running at X4. 3 2.0 PCI X1s. The M2 here is a Gen 3 X4 slot but has no heat shield. However, it does accept up to 110mm length card. Once again, just a reminder, if the M2 slot is populated, the U2 connector is disabled. On to the rear I/O. We're going to start off with the PS2 port, which is above two USB 3.1 Gen 1s that have dedicated power, which allows for a more stable voltage along longer cable lengths, and also for those of you that are into VR. There are also four USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports here and here. The HDMI 2.0 port here is only available when using the AMD 7th Gen APUs. There are also three USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type A connectors here, and one USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C here. Two LAN connectors, one Intel i211 and the killer E2500. You have the one optical output and 5 gold-plated audio jacks using the second of the two ALC 1220 codecs, with both codecs able to use Sound Blaster's X5 MB5 software. There you go. A look at the Gigabyte Gaming K7. My personal opinion, probably the best board out of the whole bunch. But again, like I said, that's my personal opinion. Got one more video that's going to come. It's actually going to be a side-by-side comparison of the boards. I know you probably looked at the other videos, but I really want to show what each board has side by side. So we got one more video coming. I'm sorry, that's going to be more of a talking head video. Going to give you a little heads up warning on that one. Hit the like button if you like what you saw. Comments on it would be most appreciated, and please hit that subscribe button. Thanks again.